here's a question for all of you. Who is more anti-consumer and anti their own player base? Is it Games Workshop or Sony? Now keep in mind, Sony had the whole Helldivers 2 thing where they're forcing people to get data mined for games that aren't even on PlayStation. It's just a Steam game. Or there's Warhammer, and we're going to get into the new pricing update. I'm sure you've seen this. Oh, God. What a disaster for this company again. You can't make this stuff up, especially the timing of it. It's just insulting to fans everywhere. I thought I'd post this meme, which is a great one, as it's going around, because a large thing that Games Workshop has been saying over the last few years, they've been doing the Warhammer is for everyone. And by that, they mean they're, virtue signaling to LGBTQIA alphabets out there, trying to push that agenda. They're doing it through their Black Library fiction these days. We're going to make more videos about that. I have another one tomorrow as we are just diving into just how woke this company's been. But as woke as they are, what's interesting is everyone, and the most inclusive thing ever. It's never for poor people. Definitely Warhammer is not a hobby for poor people, and that's not a typo in my hashtag there. I put Warhammer 401K because to illustrate the point here. And they're illustrating that point even harder now. So another controversy with Warhammer that's upsetting fans. I've seen so many reactions about this negatively. People are getting pissed. This is not the first time they've been doing price increases and blaming inflation in the past couple of years. They did one in 2022, and now it's hitting again right after they're losing their player base. They're going to try to squeeze everybody like your pay pigs at this point. Let's get into that news. My name's John Delarose. If you're new to the channel or if you've been here for a second, I am a science fiction author. Really appreciate you for reading over the last month. You guys have read so many of these books. It's really made a difference, and I've been crafting a new series that's spinning out of this trilogy, The Stars Entwined. Now, there's a full trilogy here, and it escalates this big war between Earth and the alien Oricians. And so we're going to be spinning out of that, doing something really cool and unique, which I'm excited about this new book quite a bit. I'm just in the beginning of it, so it's going to be a while. But I'm trying to build lore and build a nice science fiction world that I'm going to take care of. And so if you liked Warhammer, please check this out. This link's in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. I appreciate you for being here. So here's the news of the day. After upsetting their fans with female custodies, Games Workshop announces Warhammer 40K price increases. This is such bad timing. As a company, when you've got a fan base that's agitated because you've already made a big blunder, you probably shouldn't just go out there and be like, hey, by the way, now your hobby's going to cost 5 to 10% more. Suck it up, pay pigs. Bad look again. But they've been doing just completely tone-deaf moves over the last couple of weeks. The female custodies thing came out. It came out in the lore that this was happening. Of course, if you remember, they then made the tweet and said, it's always been that way. And they tried to gaslight you, saying that the lore and all the books that are written are really, not reliable narrators. Ridiculous stuff. And it was all just trying to cover their own butts because they know they did wrong. They know that they were trying to manipulate you into diversifying their game and changing the lore like so many other companies did. And it was insulting. And as more came out about that, it was even more insulting. We saw in the actual codex itself that, all the gendered references were removed. We've been reading about Black Library authors and putting in crazy stuff in there in Warhammer Fantasy, but it all comes from the same place. This hobby's really being destroyed at warp speed. And what's really funny about their announcement here, I'll get to that in a moment. Let's actually read what their announcement said. Here's their deal. It's an unfortunate truth that the world keeps getting more expensive. Oh, yes. Prices for food, materials, and transportation have been trending upward for a few years now. Warhammer isn't immune to that trend. That means from June 10th, we'll be increasing some prices in our Warhammer stores and on Warhammer.com. The prices of individual products will vary, but in most countries, the average change will be between 3 and 5%. As an example of what you can expect, a squad of Necron warriors goes up $2 from $50 to $52. And they go into pounds or euros. The prices of some of our products aren't changing, such as paint pots and paint sets, White Dwarf, and Black Library products, including digital publications. Well, you would hope that the digital publications wouldn't shoot up at that point. Thank you for at least keeping something reasonable, I guess. We understand that no one likes a price rise. We've done our best to keep prices down. We're giving you a heads up now, so you have plenty of time to take advantage of the current prices. So you better buy everything now. Now, this is really funny to me. The reason I think it's super funny is because a lot of the memes that have come out of the female Adeptus Custodes crisis has been a 3D printer go brr. And people have been talking about just checking out of this. And honestly, like, you don't need this company at all. If you can 3D print your own models, you can use old rule sets, you can make up your own rule sets, make up your own scenarios, whatever you want to play, it's doable. It takes a little bit of work, but that's actually fun. If you've ever made up your own game and made up your own scenarios on miniature gaming, you know that, like, you feel like you get this, like, feeling of, like, wow, I really did something creative afterwards, which is pretty great. And so I think it is time for the 3D printer to go burr. I mean, these people show that they don't like you. They show that they don't respect you as customers. They show that they're more invested in ESG and DEI crap than they are in maintaining their own lore and maintaining their own game and player base. They're signaling that they want other players with their Warhammer is for everyone crap. And we haven't even hit Pride Month yet. Wait until Games Workshop decides to go full Pride Month. It's coming soon. Trust me. Oh my gosh. So really, there's no need for this anymore. Now they're not the only company either, and I wasn't sure what to do with this. The replacement of men with females is happening across the board. This is coming from WizKids Dungeons and Dragons miniature, which is you see this, like, Amazonian androgynous-y female figure. Now, in D&D world, this has caused a lot of controversy too, and we're getting the same thing. Fans are like, what the hell? This character, this warrior, was always designed as a male, and now it's female. And the tourists out there are coming in and going, yeah, why does it matter to you? It's not a big deal. Well, it's not a big deal. Why is it happening all the time, and why is it only one direction? There's a concerted effort to just get rid of manhood. It's real. It's very bizarre, and it's happening in hobbies that are mostly geared towards men. Even Larry Elmore, who drew the original drawing, this is the original drawing that this was based upon, which is it's like a Conan style man. He chimed in and said, I was recently asked a question about the ancient red painting I did for the cover of Red Box Edition. The reason he was asked was because of this figure, which he's bearing the lead there. Did you paint the male or female? It's a man. It's a man, baby. Gary didn't know what he wanted. He wanted something simple that would jump out at you. He wanted a male warrior. If it was a woman, you would know it because I'm famous for painting women. Larry Elmore's women are beautiful. For this specific painting, while I hide the face of the warrior so it's anonymous, it was painted as a man. So there you go. Happening in D&D 2. You're not alone. Every man is getting replaced with, like, female counterparts across these games. And then they're going to give you price increases to try to, like, get you as pay pigs on top of this. I mentioned that Games Workshop has already done this as recently as 2022, done these price increases. I think that they kind of know the writing's on the wall at this point, that they're trying to milk as much out of you as they possibly can before their game entirely collapses, because they know that they've done a blunder where people, when they check out of these scenarios, check out of these games, it's not going to be coming back. People don't just, like, get back in because it becomes too expensive to get back in. I mean, gosh, I quit the Magic the Gathering scene 15 years ago, and I've never looked back once because, like, there's no way to replicate the collection I had. And I think that they're going to start seeing this with the longtime Warhammer fans very, very soon. A lot of people I've talked to are selling off their collections, selling off all their leather-bound Black Library books, which are very, very difficult to collect as it is. That's another, you want to talk about a expensive hobby. Oh my gosh, might be worse than the miniatures. It's absolutely wild out there. And this is not a good public relations time to do this. If I was in Games Workshop, I would have delayed this at least a few months, because this is going to hurt them pretty badly, and it's going to create even more grumbling and more people quitting the hobby. Very sad. Warhammer won't be for everyone very soon, because it won't be for anyone. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out The Stars Entwined on Amazon. Really appreciate you being there. We'll be back soon.